What up, LC heads? Ooh, Violet boss counters. So that's pretty much what we're kind of trying to look at here. This is a boss, and we're countering for 14,000. 14,000. I do believe we can get a crit on that. So let's see. We are averaging a counter every 5-6 hits. We do have the crappy accessory on to give us an extra chance to counter. Right, and we are still armed with the lapis axe. That's going to give us 75% more damage. Yeah, it's looking like let's see. Right, because I'm not attacking, so any like basic attack animation you will see her do is going to be a retaliation. I'm dropping abilities here just to kind of heal up. Didn't expect for him to break there, but whatever. And he does not have the treacherous intent debuff on him, unfortunately. It went on the wrong person. They all look like guards to me. Okay, so yeah, hitting for 14,000. So I think that'll be like 16 or 17,000 when I unlock boost counter 3, because I think that does affect the damage cap of it. So this is a boss. This is how she's going to counter bosses, right? It does say she's supposed to have a powerful counter against them. Kind of looks like the same thing to me. I don't know why they wouldn't count this boss. He is technically a boss. It says boss right above his head. A perfect 10. No, you don't. But look at her actual damage here, right? The only way I'm hitting for 14,000, like, look, this basic attack is hitting for 1,000 and like 300. Yeah, 1,200 for one attack and like 300 for the other hit. 1,200. Because remember, we're dual wielding here. So each attack is getting 2 counts of damage, and when we're critting, the highest crit we're getting is like 3,000, and then the other counter's 300. 1,200, 300, something like that. So she's only got 2,000 attack. All right, so she is producing, for her attack, she is producing a good amount of damage on the counter, right? Because even her abilities are hitting for what? 3,000 a hit, something like that. 3,000, 4,000, 3,000 and 4,000. So to counter for 14 or 17,000 is not bad for her, right? At least we'll be getting counter damage cap every time she counters. So a sentinel build for her, I think, would be pretty cool. After running this character more and more, right, clearly I've just been messing around in here, and she's clearing this. This is God mode. I had somebody ask me why she was hitting for such low damage when I first brought her in here. Because I got most of the stuff for her, except I didn't power her abilities up all the way. I didn't have the gems too. So she was missing some of her holy damage boosts, right? But pretty much it's like, okay, I'm looking at her damage. That's going to scale up by 70, 80% or whatever that all adds up to. You still get an idea for the synergy in the kit. You still get an idea for how quick the kit charges. I did get haste for her. You also get an idea for how often counter procs, right? That was one of the most important things, just to see how fast it procs, and does she have any way of, well, adding to that, really, without eating up an accessory slot. I also did choose my last piece of equipment for paid gear. And actually, I decided I haven't completely given up on this girl. So I did get one piece of gear for her. We did get her accessory, and that's going to give us 20% more damage to counter. It's also going to give her feint resistance. On another note, I did notice that she feints people a lot. I don't know if that's just the sheer number of attacks that she throws out there or whatever, but that's pretty much why I got that accessory. Is like, it's got some feint resist on it. Let's see, and it gives her a counter to come back to life once, which, if you're really trying to do the counter thing, it kind of pays to have her a little bit tanky so she can actually take some of these attacks, right? And if she does get killed, at least she'll get brought back to life from her accessory, and then you try to heal her up, get her back into the fight. Now, I will say this, I have not got these characters to the point where I can utilize their magic points. Even right now, I'm not doing anything with her MP. I'm not turning it into damage with Keen Eyes. I am not turning it into damage reduction with Celestial Mass or whatever the other one is called. And that is because Goddess Kiss it requires Goddess Kiss, because whatever you do with that, it's going to eat away the MP, and then once the MP runs out, you're not getting anything out of that, right? Like, you have Keen Eyes sitting there taking up 9 SC. As soon as the MP runs out, cool. You're no longer getting that extra damage now for the rest of the fight. So I don't put stuff like that on unless I have a way to replenish MP, so Goddess Kiss. I didn't see any of these characters coming with that. Well, maybe the cat did. I don't know. The point is, when I can actually fit that on her, I'll start messing around with stuff like that. So I will say this. I do like her S2. I think her S2 is awesome. The reach on it, like, I've been seeing it tag people that are kind of far away from each other. I like the hit count of it. I just love throwing her S2. I think it's awesome. It's fun to spam. It feels like it's never ending when you have a bunch of them to throw, and just the hit count is on point, right? I would not recommend most players getting this hero though, because I feel like in the future, if she does become viable, aka if they put in some gear, they could either change some of her paid gear to make it worth actually getting, in which case I've taken a gamble because I got her mask. So if they do change something to increase counter chance, I'm kind of hoping they change it on the mask. That's never going to happen though, right? Her other thing is her weapon, which is like, you take 20% less damage while countering, and some other stuff. Right, yeah, I got the item with the auto revive on it. Become less likely to faint, which is nice, and the counter damage plus 20%. The axe gives 75% counter damage, so yeah, right. And I'm assuming counter is going to cap out at like under 20,000, something like that, right? Because I'm hitting for 14. I have counter boost 3 to get, which is going to give you a few more thousand to counter damage cap, I think. So hopefully I'm wrong about that, but at least you will, it seems like you will be getting that cap when counter does go off. And that's cool because, like, difficult bosses and stuff, you might only be hitting them for 3,000 or 4,000 damage with your skills and abilities, since their stats are so jacked up. So I guess if counter does go off every 4th or 5th, 6th to 10th hit, at least you will get some counters in there that are like 20,000, right? And she does take a little bit less damage while she's countering. So it could help keep her alive, but I don't see that going off enough to really make a big difference. So this girl's not going to be utilizing her whole kit most of the time. They've made a funny build for her, because if you do really want to specialize in counter, and I mean, like she wants the axe, she needs the gold crown, which a lot of people are going to say, yo, that is a 4-star item, that's all that does, other than the 400 hit points. That is not worth putting on her. I would rather just stick with her kit and do damage that way. And those people are going to have an amazing point. One thing I did stop to consider is maybe, just maybe, they did try to balance this girl a little bit, and they said, hey, you know what? We locked so much of her kit behind counter, and that, you know, doesn't proc, and I'm sure Mobile Gamers Unite's going to say some shit about that, because that's some bull-ass shit. So why don't we make her special just drop all the freaking time? And they kind of did. This girl does charge her special quick, and I am starting to see the damage on it. I did put special boost 3 on her. So that is something that I recommend, getting like special boost for this girl, because they're going to proc all the time and you're going to be able to use them all the time. So she can take advantage of some special damage. I'm seeing that come through even on these God mode levels that I'm running with her minuscule damage. She procs that special, and she's been capping for like 60k on some of these soldiers that I've been fighting, and that is on God mode with her having 2200 attack. Right, her ability tree is 83 out of 108, and she's still running around with under 60 SC, so there's great potential in her special, especially if you put some of the special boosts on her, right? And then I figure most people are probably just going to try to cap out her kit and just use her abilities. They are good. Her abilities do have some cool synergy. And like I said, she's been making a lot of people faint. I don't know if that's just from how many attacks she has, because once she starts mashing her S2 and her S1 just back and forth, it's just like the enemies are taking so many freaking hits. Especially with the dual wield setup. So I feel like if they do ever make a good run of this character, and maybe they add some piece of gear to replace the golden crown that actually has some stats and some useful things for counter for her, she might be more viable then. But I feel like to really utilize this girl, or to make anything half-ass out of her now, you kind of need a whale's account. You're going to need a bunch of different resources, because I don't think she's going to be that straightforward to build, especially if you're trying to do anything with counter. Now, making her a straight damage character, I think it's going to be pretty straightforward. You'll just ignore counter, and you'll just try to get her attack as high as possible, and build her like a standard damage character, right? She's got some nifty light abilities and stuff like that, but she could have more of them. That's going to be the problem. She could have more light boosts instead of counter abilities on that tree that she's never going to use. Let's see. Like all this counter stuff, she comes with light high drive, light mega drive, light attack rise 2, and bless amp. Right, so I do believe the cat comes with more of those, right? And then instead of counter, they gave him like healing and stuff like that. I just look how much counter eats up. Counter 2, counter boost 2. There's also a counter boost 3 that I don't have. Iron wall counter, heal counter charge. So it is what it is. I haven't fully given up on her, like I said, though. We'll see if they somehow make her viable, right? They could do that by swapping out gear, amongst other things. But it is what it is for Violet. We're going to keep on trucking. She is cool, though, right? I was kind of hoping there would be like an actual different animation or something for counters against bosses. But that counter looked exactly the same. Show them Faith. When physically attacked by a boss, chance to activate a powerful counter. Right? When magically attacked by a boss, chance to activate counter. Counter damage plus 90%. During counter, physical damage taken minus 30%. When counter activates, chance of extra attack. So, yeah, I guess, well, we saw that because we were fighting a boss. So it looks to me like the same exact counter, right? At least it is hitting for damage cap for counter when she only has, 2,500 attack, right? So, yeah, that's the extent of that. I have been leveling up both of the heroes at the same time, though. You guys got to watch her perform a little bit there at the boss. Here's the other guy. Here's Crow. Crow's 92 out of 108 out of the abilities. And he is at 56 out of 67. Let's see. Oh, did I take besties off of him? No. Yeah, there's no point in having besties on if you actually want to go run around and destroy some stuff all by yourself. Let's see. What is our intelligence? Oh, you know what? Like, I could give him Goddess Kiss, but I don't even feel like I need to do that. Oh, he already has Savage Strike, Celestial Mass. Yeah, see, like, to play around with Celestial Mass, I would want to equip that with the Goddess Kiss so I could actually get that MP back and keep using it. Holy Aura. Charge attack. We'll keep it easy. We'll just... I was going to say, we'll increase his crit. That's really not a good idea. Oh, I did want to try pulley system on him, though. Low chance of regular attacks doing times 4 or times 8 extra damage. Is that damage an extra counter of its own? I don't know. I also need to see if he can proc any of his blood force healing through that. Ooh, there's counter. Let's take that for 6 SC. No. So here's what he's equipped with. Same thing. Cajun Mask. Cajun's Longsword and Crow's Mask. The Imperial Revolver and the Blood Ring. So what is cool about Crow is he has progressed just like I would expect. He, even at this limited point, has just started to kind of shred his way through here. You can actually see the damage on these. This is like worst case scenario too. 3 Anarchists. We're going to be put to the test. I have had people say like, oh man, I don't have Moon Saber. Don't worry about that. It's only something I'm doing for soloing, right? You don't need Moon Saber at all when you actually have a healer. Right, but look at the damage or the healing off of that, like 1,200, 1,400 a hit, right? I'm actually getting eaten up by these spells, but that's okay. These guys. Oh, look at that. We can get hit by spells together. You guys can eat the S3 I threw, and I'll get hit by that black hole. Thing is, though, their health is actually going down. So he's hitting substantially harder, right? He's in here with, we're at almost 4,000 strength. So I think yesterday I was running him at like 3,200 and the girl only had 1,200. So she's at 22 now. He's at 38. We're making slow progress working on both of them at the same time, right? And these are the levels I was having problems with yesterday, just dealing with these mages. But I mean, look at it now. I will give his S1 some credit too. Once that thing charges up and you can spam it, it really does become really spammable. And it charges fast. The thing that I haven't really heard anybody talk about is actually the Crow Curse. And what do I mean by that? Well, when Crow, on that item activate. Okay, 4679 strength, because I do think we just got our strength boost and stuff off of his one paid item. So every time Crow is in a party, he gets plus 20% to his SCT, and everybody else gets -5, right? What happens when you join a party of 3 crows, right? Because this is going to be a real thing for multiplayer. If a bunch of people want to bring Crow, and you're like the odd man out and you bring a healer or something, your healer who's going to have -15% to SCT recovery speed, that's actually a big deal, right? And 4 crows, well, instead of getting their plus 20, they would each get, plus 20 -15 for the other 3 crows that are there that are putting their -5% debuff on them. I do think those stack. I haven't seen anything else about it. I'm assuming that they stack like that. So a whole party of crows is still going to slow each other down. I guess they will be better off than anybody else that's not crow that's in that party. Yeah, but interesting little side note on Crow. We'll have to see how it goes, because I've already seen people put Crow into a party and go take him to fight a boss or something, and they're used to having their party and their healer and their buffer there, right? And a lot of people do this. They will have like their support party, and they will put in a new damage character, and they will have somebody feed their SCT and have somebody heal them and have somebody buff them, and they will use that character then to kill a boss. This is common last Cloudia practice on YouTube, right? And people have been noticing my kit feels sluggish. Well, that's because this guy is giving everybody -5% to their charge rate. At the same time, his kit charges pretty quick, and he's going to be pretty awesome for soloing, right? Notice how his damage is in the 7,000-8,000s. He's doing substantially more damage than Violet, our little counter girlfriend. I mean, she's hitting the he's hitting the robot for like 8,000-9,000. Which is pretty decent damage. Let's see. I don't think that. Yeah, we're only at 4,100 strength. We're not at 46. His item did not proc. Still doing much better damage than her through here. I just can't counter. Oh no. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, rah-rah. So yeah, this guy's damage is going to scale wonderfully. I don't have the ability unlocked that gives him 3,000 more damage cap yet. So I have that one and a few other ones, but we have a pretty good idea of how this guy is going to run, of course. Damage will scale up a little bit, as always. But we have a good idea of how he plays, how fast his kit charges. He is solid. He is definitely probably going to be the winner of, as far as being a safe bet, and a safe bet for new players to build. Yeah, this guy's going to be able to clear tons of content for you. His damage is going to be applicable all over the place. And he's going to be an easier build, right? You don't need to worry about crit, proud force. And obviously you are probably going to have to prioritize a good healer for him. But most people aren't going to have a hard time with that, because Last Cloudia provides you a pretty good healer just from playing the game. And I think Theria could hold this guy down no problem for healing. So you don't have to worry about Moonsaber. You don't have to worry about any of that. A normal healer will do it. And so what? Instead of getting healed for 10,000, he'll get healed for 6,000 at a time. An Imperial Medic. Yeah, let's, I'm sure the medic will die quick enough. We'll put that on the boss. Oh, that's right. I am going to want to set up my healing here. S2, S3. Basic attack for healing. It is really cool to see Blood Force work like that. Just so many counters of healing. Right. So many counters. 500, 600, 700. I've seen them, get up to 1,000 per counter. It is nice. And we get that S4. So, yeah, both of these characters have no problem going through here. I was going to go start fighting the Ogre next and see how they do there. Right, I can't do that until I actually finish their skill trees. Right, because you don't go to the Ogre with 70 out of 109 and 50 SC in your kit. I do need to grind some more shards out for these heroes, but I'm not stressing it. Right, we have time. I'm not going to waste a bunch of Mother Soul shards, especially on Violet. Violet, I'm going to take my time with. Give them some time to maybe think a little bit more about the character that they built for us to play with, and what they need to do to maybe fix some of that. I don't know. But here, we'll give them a taste of my defeat. Right, and his special's hitting, pretty good since he has a higher attack. I did not put special damage up on him, so his special's not doing any extra damage or anything like that. This is just what he comes with stock, obviously with his monstrous attack and his monstrous bonus to damage for not being able to crit. Right, if you look at his damage numbers, they're pretty consistent. They're not going to jump around like characters with crit builds are. So that's cool. You're going to know exactly how much damage this guy's doing. It's going to be consistent, right? So I do like the S1. And I feel his basic attack is, I guess, good enough to get away with the Proud Force thing. And not Proud Force, the Blood Force thing. And they already put that in the kit. And that's cool because that was never a cheap ability. Like, that was never a cheap ability to heal off of your basic attack. Some might argue it should be cheaper, right? I guess the idea is you can have Proud Force, and I don't know, because with Proud Force you can heal off of your basic attacks as well when they crit, right? So, I don't know. All I know is it's nice to have it for free and not pay, 8 or 9 SC or something silly like that to be able to get some heals off your basic attack. And it gives this character a reason to use his basic attack, right? Which, isn't hitting for bad damage, right? He's hitting for 4,000. Violet's abilities hit for 4,000, right? Remember, her basic attack here is hitting for 1,000/300-400 with her other hit counter for dual wield, right? This guy's doing much better, right? And of course it's because we're giving up crit. And actually, I believe, isn't this guy supposed to have stun resist? Oh, they fainted me. We might be able to make it. We might be able to snap out of this in time. Got to be careful though, because I got to get Moonsaber back on myself. But then we're right back up to full health, and we did dip down low enough in our health to proc the item. So, 4,200 strength turns into 46. Right, all of a sudden we're doing more damage. Let's spam that wonderful S1 of ours. And it just keeps going. And it just keeps going. And by the time you get done doing it, you proc another one. It literally feels like that. And you get 3 or 4 of them by the time you throw them all with the hits that you're doing. By the time you empty it out, you get another one to throw. And it just keeps going and going. Give these fools a taste of defeat. Very nice. 62,000 we're capping that with. So that's cool. Like, at least this guy is able to get to some damage cap here in God mode without being, you know, fully built. So it is nice to start seeing some of the damage cap coming out. Like, at least for like his finisher move. Still have a long ways to go. I just refuse to build these heroes any quicker. I don't feel like draining the damn account over that. We have them. They're here, right? And we have their arcs now too. We do have their arcs. Keen Eye instead of Keen Eyes. The new healing and SCT recovery ability. That's just going to be perfect for the cat, I think. And I've already seen some people putting it on healers. I can't wait to use that. And then we have Reverse Cross to teach to plenty of heroes that just don't have that in their kit. And that way you can just activate that anytime you're fighting a boss, that you can take advantage of the backstab mechanic. You know, there's just a shit ton of extra damage you can get out of that. For a couple of those abilities, you're doing 150% more damage for like the 10 SC that it costs you or something, as long as you're backstabbing. And for some bosses, some fights, you can get back there and you can backstab all the time. So that is nice to have. And obviously the Zelfind. Let's see, one of these arcs, they give some kind of accessory that's going to be good for in between a bunch of waves, because at the end of every wave you're going to recover 10% hit points and magic points, and there's a passive ability where you're going to recover another 5% MP or something for, I don't know, like 2 or 3 SC, whatever it was. I think the big one, personally for me, was that 4 SC ability that gave you more to your break. For like, it did something else too, but I thought that was pretty awesome, just to get that big of a break boost, even if there's a condition to meet. Actually, I don't think there is for the break. Let's see, it's the Royal. Which one was it? There. It's there for 4 SC when hitting an attribute weakness, which you will be, right? Because you're going to plan this out. You're going to be like, oh, in this fight, I'm going to be hitting an attribute weakness. Let's bring there, right? Enemies more likely to faint, which is cool. That's like the bonus. But break plus 50%. Yo, break plus 50% for 4 SC is freaking awesome, right? And then, of course, we have the Reverse Cross in here. Surprise attack is 4 SC, Reverse Cross. You know, for 10 SC, that's 100% more damage to backstabbing enemies. And it's going to give you plus 5% crit rate. Right? And critical damage. Oh, I'm sorry. That's critical damage plus 50%. And surprise attack is when attacking enemies from behind, 50% to your damage. Right? And now your criticals are going to do 50% more damage with Reverse Cross. And your crit rate's going to be up by 5%. So that's just a lot of damage with backstab. And I think that's cool. And of course, we have the Gold Rush 2 here. But I'm really here for, well, fast speed. Automatically activate speed at the start of battle. For 1 SC, cool. We have another one ability like that called Quick Shopkeeper, Improved Shopkeeper, something like that. It's 1 SC. It's going to make you faster. I'd like to stack both of them just to see how well that works. So this is the one that has most of the abilities. And the Royal Card Holder, when party has at least 2 units and all are alive, physical / magic attack damage 8%. And it's got decent stats on it. Plus some attribute resistance, 5% to everything. This thing's not bad. Not anything I'm going to sink a ton of ether into, but this thing's not bad. And what does the other one give? Thank goodness I pulled this thing quickly. I mean, cheaply is what I mean. I got one bundle to finish off this collab, and the first pull I did, this one came down. I then used the free lapis off of that to do 12 more pulls and unlock Pity, the other arc. Right, so I ended up getting lucky enough to pull one, and I pitied the other one. And yeah, that was the only way I was going to get both of the arcs. So cool. That was my one big quest going into this, is like, let me just get the arcs, since they're the ones that have abilities to teach things. And this one, of course, has Keen Eye. Not Keen Eyes, Keen Eye. Just one eye. Just one. Not both of them. Light Shield is great for the simple fact that we have so many light damage units right now, melee and everybody else doing light damage, and we have no attribute attack rise 2. That's awesome for any non-attribute attackers that don't have it. Keen Eye is a powerful, restore medium hit points and SCT 10 seconds for all allies. That is awesome. That is worth 11 SC on some kind of healer supporter. Ruto is going to be learning this, right? Some MP up, heal counter, great. And encouragement, battle end, recover MP 5% for 2 SC. Encouragement's not bad. Encouragement is not bad. Anything where there's a bunch of waves, that's going to be useful, right? And obviously, wait, this has the card holder. Yeah, this is the card holder. At the end of battle, hit point MP 10%. Right, that's going to go very well with encouragement, and it is what it is. This might be useful when we have something where there's just like 20, 30 waves or something. It could help for tower, right? A lot of those tower floors are how many waves, right? And if you're dropping a lot of magic, that's going to help replenish your MP pool, especially if you have a decently sized MP pool to begin with, because it's going off of, percentage, 10%. So yeah, again, not anything I'm going to dump ether into, right? And if anything, if I had to choose one, it would probably be this one. The Royal card holder, right? Just because it does have like strength and intelligence in it, it does actually have some stats. This other one doesn't have stats, does it? Royal card holder and the Kajichi card holder. Yeah, it just doesn't have strength and intelligence stats. That's kind of what I was looking for. Yeah, it has MP, defense, and mind, though. So, might be useful for a support character, a healer, a certain cat, right? The cat could definitely use this. So the cat could also definitely use Keen Eye. Can't wait to try that out on him. So yeah, at this point, we're just going to grind through the event, right? The gacha's up for 11 days. 11 days, folks. 11 days on both of them. Best of luck to everybody. I'm sure nobody's stressing, right? Nobody's stressing. Yeah, get these characters if you think they're cool, and if you're a huge Persona fan. They're definitely, like, Persona definitely has a fan base. If that wasn't the case, then a whole slew of people wouldn't have reached out and corrected me about Morgana. And thank you for that, by the way. That was good to know. Morgana's an awesome character. At least I know more about it now. So, I hope everybody's enjoying the collab. I will say the event's cool. The event's cool. It keeps you busy, right? Oh, look at that. We're getting done heisting some stuff now. Right, we got some heists done, and bam, those are going to open probably some bonus levels. The bonus levels have been great for teaching abilities to these heroes. Oh no, Oh, that's right. I just cashed out a bunch of energy, leveling up that keen eye ability. Well, it looks like we're gonna have to take a rest from the event until we can grind up some more energy, some more soul energy. Geez, that was brutal. What do we need? Oh, we need blues. We're at 3,000 blue. So, I mean, that is what happens when you get new arcs, right? You're gonna try to power them up instantly. I haven't even ran them yet. I've not even ran the new arcs. I do plan on, testing them, putting them to use. They do have some very nifty stuff. One of them has some kind of item find on it, so that's going to be getting applied, right? But I'm going to continue working on these heroes slow and steady and slowly try to replenish my gems. I don't know how much of those gems I'm going to invest into these heroes now. I'll definitely keep working on this guy just because his damage is really starting to shine. I do think that Violet is going to have to take a seat in the back for a while. And I don't know. Ultimately, I'm hoping that Adis does something to fix the damn counter build. Man, just add another 5% to it or something. Something, a little something, right, is all I'm saying, is all I'm hoping for. Or put out an item that gives that percent. Either way, it would be nice. We can all dream, we can all hope, right? Best of luck to all of us dreamers. Later.